Laura, I first met you 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Did an interview. One of my all-time favorite. I love everybody, right? I don't want to say that there's a favorite.
Everybody's valuable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But your story stuck with me because of all the changes you've gone through, or all the challenges, I should say.
Yeah.
And you're still smiling.
Thank you.
And that was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
You're still homeless in Gainesville,
Yeah.
and you're still smiling. It's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I've won the lottery because I look for you every year.
Uh-huh.
And well, I haven't come to Gainesville because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm walking down the street, and there you are.
Yeah.
So, Laura, what's going on?
Okay. Well, the reason why I'm still in this situation, I guess because lack of motivation and fear of failure on my part. And I held on, to this, fear and focus of lack, for many years.
Yeah.
And
Well, change is hard.
yeah, huh?
Change is hard.
Yes.
And there's not a lot of support here. In smaller towns, there's less support.
Yeah. And so I did, last year, while I was still in Asheville, I did apply for housing. And I was told it would take at least 2 years before I get called for a room,
Right.
at least a small 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
Anyway, from 3 months to 2 years, now I remember. And here, at least from 1 to 6 years, here in Gainesville.
So here, it's 1 to 6 years.
Yes. So I applied back in December, right? And I was told it would take 90 days before I finally get put on the waiting list. And I meant to go to Grace Marketplace and check the mail, and I haven't had the chance to check the mail yet. And hopefully I am on the list, otherwise I might have to do the process over again. And I feel reluctant of going to Grace Marketplace because I hear so many bad stories, and I just feel uncomfortable around extremely toxic environments.
Yeah, for those that are watching that don't know what Grace is, Great Marketplace, it's an old prison, a prison that they converted into a homeless shelter.
Yeah.
So it's a prison. I've toured it. I've been there. They were nice enough. I think maybe it was your video or another video that they saw and reached out and invited me. So I give them credit for that. And then there's a tent city outside, or there used to be, and I've tried to. Anyways, yes,
Yeah.
Gainesville is lacking
Yeah.
in support services.
Yeah.
Most cities are. Now you would know better than me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I haven't been here for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I see more homeless people than I did last time.
Yes, since the inflation happened, more people are losing their jobs. And I watch a lot of YouTube videos because I'm an internet addict. And Google and Amazon have laid off thousands and thousands of people.
Yeah.
And ever since the moratorium has ended, more people who are not able to make the payments have lost their apartments.
Yeah.
And for those who pay mortgages, they're not able to pay it. So I go to places to eat, and the lines are getting longer and longer and longer. It's getting worse.
Yeah, I've seen, I would say about 3 times more street homelessness than last time.
And it's not just here in Gainesville. It's the same problem in Asheville and every other places I used to live.
And you have a bike now.
I have a bicycle, so I travel on bike. I snowbird to North Carolina on my bicycle.
You ride your bike all the way there?
Yes, sir.
Oh my God. How long does it take you?
1 month.
1 month?
Now, last year, I put my bicycle in the box underneath the Greyhound bus because I usually leave around either the last week of March or first week of April. I waited all the way till May because it was still freezing cold in the mountains, and it was already hot and the bugs were out and about. So I decided to ride the bus.
Yeah. So for those of you watching, she's a snowbird. So she goes to Asheville in the summer when it's hot, and when it's cold.
It's hot like a devil's oven here in Florida.
Oh yeah, it is. It is. How do you stay positive? I mean, you said one of the reasons that you're still homeless is lack of motivation.
Yes.
And I know you had a really hard childhood.
I did have a very hard childhood, my whole life.
You've had a rough life.
Yes.
Most people would have given up by now, right? So
Yeah.
you're still going with a smile.
Thank you.
But what do you mean by lack of motivation?
Meaning I get lazy. I guess maybe it's because I was told by my mother that I'm not capable of being a responsible person. And as a young teen, I believed that. I had gone to that false belief for many years. But now I'm in the process of trying to change my thought process and sending that false belief back to her. So I recognize that, that's not true about me. That's the false belief that she projected on me. Even though she was not a good mother and she didn't do a good job raising me. Look how I turned out.
Well, you're an awesome person.
Yeah.
And I can relate because I was also programmed by my father that I'll never be anything.
That's horrible.
I was programmed that I'm worthless and I'll never be anything. Mostly by his actions, but often his words. And it continues to be reinforced. And although I've done some amazing stuff, like interviewing you, I still have to fight it every day. And people don't understand how hard, they just think getting out of homelessness is flipping a switch. Yeah. And it's not like that.
It's not that easy.
Most of us have layers of trauma that got us to
and
this.
plus the belief system that get us in this situation in the first place. Yeah.
How are you surviving?
Let's see. I go to Socks Ministries on Tuesday and Thursdays at 7 o'clock and Saturdays at 5 o'clock right by City Hall parking lot.
So you're surviving off charity, the kindness of others.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And I deal with the emotional pain through writing and reading, self-help articles and reading books. That's what kept me going over the years.
And we're talking about, because you watch our YouTube channel.
Yeah, I watch a lot of YouTube channels, some of it educational, and others a bunch of nonsense. That's not healthy for my mind, but I watch it anyway because it's entertaining.
And you know what, and I'll go here, is that what I've learned about YouTube is so many homeless people, because you can't afford a Netflix subscription, right? And you have your phone, if it's charged and you are near Wi-Fi, you consume you consume YouTube.
Yes.
So it is really awesome. I've got to start making videos specific for that audience. We used to do live streams. I'll get back to it. Oh my gosh, it is so good seeing you. But what I was talking about or getting to was Granny. So there was like I think she was.
There was
really old.
There was some drunk nut job. I think it happened last year or 2 years ago.
It was about 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
2 or 3 years ago.
Some knucklehead. She was riding her bicycle home at nighttime, and some shithead, ran her over and kept going. Oh
my gosh, you cussed.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry for those who are offended by profanity.
No,
I apologize.
No, there's sometimes cuss words are perfect. This might be one of them, because Granny was older. She's a senior. I'll put the link down below, or I'll link above here. And just, she was outside here, and she was kind of a fixture. Everybody knew her. And literally, I was here. When I come to Gainesville, I look for you and her. And that year, I was looking for her, couldn't find her. I knew all the places where she had been. Some people had reached out to me. And it was at that time that there was a hit-and-run driver that killed her. It's so sad. Life on the streets is dangerous.
Yes. Yeah, and there was occasionally when I crossed the road and someone makes a turn opposite of me, and I almost got ran over a few times. And of course, I end up cussing the driver out. Like, you see me crossing the fucking road? Watch where the fuck you going.
Oh my gosh, you've cussed a bunch of times.
Yeah. Yeah. And if they have, sometimes they don't hear me, but they
Well,
flip me
homeless-
a bird or they cuss me out right back at
Right.
me. Like, you watch where you're going. Meh, meh, meh.
Well, one of the reasons we're sitting here is you didn't want to be why people were walking by, but it wasn't you were self-conscious. You didn't want to interrupt their path,
Right,
right? It wasn't about you. You were concerned about them.
right.
But people walking by see you as homeless, and they look down on homeless people, right?
Yeah, a lot of times.
You know?
But I don't let that get to me.
Yeah.
I usually say hi to me. I always greet people, and some people don't greet back. A lot of people greet back,
Yeah.
you know. And if they do look down on me, it's more like their problem rather than mine.
It is. It's their problem.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm not going to let that get me down.
Oh my gosh. So good seeing you.
It's good seeing you.
Hopefully next time. Well, I hope you get housing in Asheville or here. I don't visit Asheville,
Yeah.
so
I want to live in the county. I don't want to live in the city area.
yeah, you want to be
Yeah.
outside a little bit.
I want to live in a house close to nature.
Ah, good. Good.
Yeah.
If you had 3 wishes, what would they be?
Housing that's close to nature, more trees rather than concrete, world peace, and tiny homes with a vegetable garden for everyone who needs housing.
Awesome wishes. Thank you very much for talking to me.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you, YouTubers. Audience.
Yo, YouTubers, they're YouTubers. You got it right. You got it right. Oh my gosh, you're so wonderful. Love the smile, love the laugh.
Yeah.